Hi everyone, another message from Edie's car. As I drive along my commute, I have a lot of time to think. And today's topic is thinking that you're better than you really are. I have had the experience in the past where people just stop learning. They get to a certain point and they stop taking workshops, they stop taking classes, they literally stop learning. And this can be a hazard. Why? Because you're going to get to the point in your dancing to where you think, oh, I know everything, I know it all now, okay? And I was there as well. You know, I stopped learning, I stopped growing. And when I realized that I had stopped learning and stopped growing when I was traveling a lot, and I literally could not take classes from anyone, or so I thought, and I could not, you know, take private lessons and classes and still learn and perfect my craft. And then I started teaching old, antiquated ways of doing things compared to what everybody else was doing. And I realized that when I got back to LA, I think it was back in 2006, and I saw all this new styling coming from the girls and these weird techniques that looked pretty cool and sexy and sassy and whatnot. And so I decided to take a private lesson from one of my students, and she was shocked. She said, "Wow, Edie, you want a lesson from me?" And I said, "Yeah." And so I paid her for the lesson, you know, and she taught me some of the latest stuff that's going on. And it was really valuable to learn from my student. The student became the teacher. And even to this day, after 20 years in this business, I'm still learning. I know I keep telling you guys that, and I know that I'm pounding it in you, but you, especially in this dance, salsa. Salsa is the hardest dance in the world to learn. And then tango is next, okay? First it's salsa, then it's tango. Then tango is the next hardest. But if you got salsa down, because there's so many different levels, it's so deep, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper into moves. And although our curriculum is about 3.5 years long, if you go once or twice a week, there's still so much depth that you can do within the moves, within open breaks, back breaks, cumbia, progressives, lefts, rights, copas, passes, circle moves. My gosh. And then, you know, we have our purple moves now, purple belt and blue belt moves, which are even more incredible. And you just continue to learn and learn and learn and grow. And I don't want you to ever think, oh, well, I've reached the pinnacle, I'm at the top, I know everything. Actuality is that that is where you've only just begun. Because now is the time where you can give back, okay? And when you give back, when you start training others and teaching others, you yourself learn so much more. I think that my growth and my development as an instructor has like improved by 100-fold ever since I quit the travel circuit back in 2008 or 2009, I think, when I got married. And I think that because I'm able to analyze and really study the structure of a curriculum and study how people learn and how they not express, but yeah, I guess you could say how they express their interpretation of the move, I'm beginning to see the depth that every move can bring to a woman's feeling or to a man's feeling, if you kind of get my drift. Sure, you could teach the move, but the feeling of the move is what is more important to me. How you're making her feel. It's the man's responsibility to make her feel good. It's the woman's responsibility to make him look good. And I guess I created that phrase, you know, years ago, but it's true. So don't think that, you know, okay, I'm good enough, I'm badass enough, and I don't need to learn anymore. Once you start saying that, you start going downhill. I've had a few people that have quit learning, growing, and people tell me that their lead or follow has gone out the window. They're no longer the leads they used to be. They're no longer the follows they used to be. They start developing all these bad habits. I'm not saying that this is wrong, but if you're on a dance team, for example, and you have certain partners that you can only do certain things with, and only your dance partner can follow you, it's not really fair to everybody else on the dance floor who's trying to follow you, or vice versa. And then you start to pigeonhole yourself into only being able to dance with certain people, and that's it, namely the members on your team. I'm under the firm belief that you should be able to lead anybody into any move, given that they have certain techniques already. But don't stop growing. Don't think that because you're now part of a dance team, or you're now even starting to teach, that you can't continuously learn, okay? Because there's so much more to learn once you've got past the I think I'm badass enough point. You know what I mean? So anyway, I guess the thought for today is don't think you're all that, because you probably aren't. I've actually seen men in particular digress, okay? They've actually gotten worse when somebody doesn't knock them in the head and say, hey, I can't follow you anymore. Nobody can follow you. What's the problem? You know? And guys, when you're out on that dance floor, you know, dance to her level. If she is not, you know, top rank pro, you got to learn how to mellow your moves down and just let her enjoy the dance, rather than making her feel like shit that she can't follow your moves. You know, just because Joe Badass Chick can follow everything you do doesn't mean that you should execute those moves with women who just don't know. You know, have empathy for them. Remember, you were there once, you know, so learn how to dance with those kind of women. You should be able to dance with any woman and make her feel incredible, all right? If you're with a spinner, badass follow, then put it into spins and badass moves. If you're with an intermediate, semi-advanced dancer, then tone down your moves for her, you know? Remember where you came from, and you don't want to make women feel like crap dancing with you. Take a class on how to dance at any level. And in the Black Belt Salsa program, we have those options available. We have the options of, you know, white belt, orange belt, yellow belt, camel belt, green belt, purple belt, blue belt, you know, red belt, brown belt. I mean, all the different colors that you could dance at her level to. For example, when I pair up to people, I'll tell the guy, you know, I have this great girl for you, maybe you should perform with her. Right away, he'll say, what level is she? Before black belt, I used to have to say, well, she's an intermediate. Well, intermediate from the spectrum is as far as the east is from the west. But now I can say she's a solid yellow. And he'll know exactly what moves that she can do and what she can't do, you know, which is awesome. So when you're with another person, don't execute all your badass moves and think you're like that, okay? You're all that, because you aren't really. A world-class lead and a world-class follow will chameleonize themselves to their partner to make their partner feel amazing. I always tell the girls, you got to make your partner look incredible out there. And how do you do that? By you looking amazing. Don't overpower him, just compliment him, smile, cover his mistakes, make him feel like he is just the most amazing man on earth. That is my message to women who follow, you know. And you can do that, and that in itself is an art form, and that also takes training and takes discipline. So ladies, don't think that, you know, oh, I'm good enough, he can just throw me around out there. Guys actually get tired of carrying you from point A to point B, from pushing you, from forcing you to do moves. They get tired of it. After a while, they just say, wow, I'm just so glad. I used to have guys come up to me at congresses and say, my God, Edie, I'm exhausted. Will you please dance with me? And they used to use me for energy, okay? Because I gave back so much energy and so much power and so much love, you know? I had a guy tell me, Edie, I feel like when I dance with you, I plug into an energy source. You renew me. Now I can go back to dancing with all these heavy girls, you know? Not heavy physically, but heavy, slow, you know, pulling, waiting for him to push you before you go, etc. And that's just not cool. So I guess this dovetails on the last video I did, or the one before this, to where you don't want to wait too much for his lead. You kind of have to, he builds the house and you decorate it type thing. But anyway, it takes continuous improvement. Like when you get a degree and you go to continuing education, you need to still take workshops. I still take classes from other people. I still take whatever I can. You know, even if it's not salsa, I'll do a tango or a swing or some sort of other move, or I'll watch videos or try to understand, you know, what are these people doing. And I love it. I absolutely love to continuously learn. Sometimes, though, I do get sick of it. Sometimes I think, God, when am I going to stop learning? But, you know, that's only when I get tired. So anyway, keep learning, guys. Keep growing. Once you get to the point of badass level, now's your time to give back. And once you start to teach and once you start to help other people, your learning will expand at an exponential rate, because you'll be analyzing yourself and your own moves and asking those questions, why? And you'll become a student again. When you become the teacher, you become a student once again. All right, everybody, I hope you get that philosophy. All right, we'll see you next car ride. Bye.